Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Foodehsow Meet the Founders panel. Bonjour, bon après-midi, buenos dias. Welcome to everybody who's watching us on both YouTube and Facebook. Now, normally we do have to wait a couple of minutes to let everybody arrive. So I'm going to wait one more moment and then we'll start with the session. I do want to make sure that you all know, if you type a comment on the video, whether on Facebook or on YouTube, we can see it here with the panel. So please do, any questions, any feedback you might have, please just pop it in the comment box and we will come to you as soon as we can. And we'll be starting in about 1 minute. Hello, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Foodehsow panel discussion. Today, we are going to be meeting the founders of the Foodehsow, who are going to tell us where the show came from, what the objective of the show is, and how you guys can get involved with it. So, as you may know, the show itself starts next month in September, and it is bringing together the whole community of the global food industry on one event platform. So I want to introduce you all to our two panel members who are our two co-founders. First of all, we have Huda Fargesu, who is a mum and an activist and founder of Creativa Consulting. With a master's in international business and an MBA in marketing, she's worked in different sectors from hospitality, event planning, tourism, and of course, the food industry. Now, since she's been working in the food industry, Huda was president of FICOPAM, which is the Federation of Industries Packing Agricultural Products, as well as being vice president of Interprolive. And she represented the Moroccan table olive industry at the International Olive Oil Council. Now, Huda loves food and she's always intrigued by processes and improvements, and she likes to experiment daily with fusing ingredients from all over the world into her daily cuisine. In fact, she's had a food blog sharing these quick recipes since 2013. And finally, as a nice little bit of information about Huda, her favorite strange food combination is sweet bread with her omelette, because she likes to meet the sweet and the savory together on her eggy, delightful plate. So Huda, hi, good afternoon. Welcome today. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Chloe. Thank you so much for the introduction.
No, thank you.
And don't be scared. It tastes good. It sounds weird, but it tastes good.
I trust you. I trust you. And next we have Jalal, who you can all see in the middle there, who is an entrepreneur, founder of Wink Consulting, which is an agency that specializes in international business matchmaking. So Jalal holds an MBA in finance and international marketing, and he served as an expert in international business development for tech companies in Canada, France, and Morocco. His work has generated more than $100 million in transactions for his clients, and of course, a lot of traveling. And he's been to over 36 countries in Africa, Middle East, Europe, North and Latin America. So very well traveled and know what he's talking about when it comes to the global market. Jalal has been serving the food industry since 2014. He's passionate about connecting people and businesses worldwide. And Jalal's favorite strange food combination is Snickers on pizza. Jalal, welcome.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. And a really quick introduction about myself. My name is Chloe. I'm owner of ACIER Events. We are sales and events specialists, linguists, LinkedIn coaches, cheese connoisseurs, and nowadays virtual event moderators. My favorite strange food combination is fries and ice cream. So I think we've all got a theme there of mixing our sweet and our salty products. Now, Today, we're going to be chatting with Huda and Jalal about the exciting Food eShow, which takes place in September, obviously online, and it's bringing together the global food industry into one place, digitally, of course. Now, I've got a lot of questions for Huda and Jalal on what the event is about, how it was conceived, where they got the idea from, and what it will mean for the food sector as a whole. Now, we will have a really special dedicated question and answer session at the end of today's session. But if you have any questions or any comments or any feedback, please do just put them in the comment box, which you should find underneath your video, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. And when I can, I'll bring in your questions. So I guess it's time for us to start from the very beginning. And the first question is, what is the Food eShow? Because some people might not know. So tell us, what is the Food eShow?
Very tricky question, but it's to make it simple. The Food eShow is the first virtual international food trade show ever to be conducted. And we are proud to be the first ones to ever come up with a global aspect of the trade show. So that's in a nutshell. So what do? What are we trying to achieve with it? Is we're trying to create global communities and democratize access to market for companies that really need to go abroad. We believe in their potential. We believe that there's a lot of companies that only need that kick and to be on the market and to be able to grow. And that's what we're trying to provide.
Okay, great. So you mentioned there it's obviously the community and it's chance to network and sell. Is it just for networking and for global brands to meet each other, or are there other elements? Because I think that there's an educational side as well. Is that right?
Yes. Let me put you through if you want more details. Yeah, you got to the right person. So, so basically, for the Food eShow is one place. It's a one place where you can be educated, so you can engage with people, you can connect with people. So it's a place where you can network. You will have a lot of information because we have conferences and sessions and live sessions and demos and stuff. So this will allow you to get trends, insights from industry experts about what's going on in the market, from consumer behavior changes, digital marketing, how to use technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality in the food sector, as well as how to find your next ingredient or how to develop your next product. And from this, we have about 20 countries represented only for the speakers. So we have speakers from Indonesia, Israel, Europe, Latin America. We got Peru, we got Nepal. So it's very impressive, the eclectic and also the dimension that we're bringing in with the conferences and the sessions we have. So yes, you do network, you learn to get inspired to adapt your offer to the global market, and that's what in a nutshell what the Food eShow is about.
And also because it's virtual, you're not contained into like one country or one region. We make it global because then it's an opportunity for everyone to participate, whether you're from Asia or Australia or the US or Africa. And that's the beauty of it. It gives access to everyone to share their experience and to exchange information about their products and what they're doing in the food industry.
Okay, yeah, no, it totally makes sense. So it's an event over 2 days, like you say, where actually effectively you're giving every single person in the food industry, no matter what country they're from, no matter what language they speak, you're giving them a way to network, learn, engage, adapt. So it's a great event for them to get involved with, I guess. So on that note, who is it really for? So who can get involved and how can they get involved?
Sure. So go ahead, Jalal.
No, I was going to say, I mean, everyone that can get involved with the food industry will be there. I mean, we're talking about producers, importers, exporters, any type of suppliers. We food service, the HoReCa market, the service providers, like in terms of certification, consulting. It's really a place where everyone that is involved in the food industry can come, bring the value to the platform and to the people participating in the platform. Go ahead.
So imagine you are in the food industry ecosystem. It doesn't matter where if it's in the first steps of the value chain or at the end of the value chain, from processing to consumer. So everything that is in between: processing, logistics, transportation, marketing, PR, e-commerce, and how to improve the user value and how to improve your product for your consumer. So we've got it all covered.
Okay, great.
Sorry, one important thing is we're giving access to big companies and small companies that usually can't go to big trade shows and can meet with different people in different countries. So now they can have access to the platform for wherever they are, even if the smallest teeny tiny company that is involved in the food industry can get there. And don't forget, we also we will have a lot of startups participating in the platform.
So really, no matter what stage of business those companies are at, if they're not at the Foodehsow, they're going to be missing out on so many different things. So it makes sense for everybody to attend. It's an interesting point that you've raised there, Jalal, about smaller companies who maybe might not be able to travel or who might not be to big trade shows that we all know. Let's talk digital now. So obviously, being the Foodehsow, it's one of the very first, if not the first, event that is purely for the food industry online. Do you think that the digital platform is the way forward for a lot of events? And why do you think that it's important that we offer a digital element to the food community?
Well,
I take this one.
Well, I believe that the digital event today, I mean, we know we had the crisis with the COVID and we're going through it. And it's not because we have this crisis that we have to go digital and we have to forget about real trade shows. Real trade shows will always have their space. Going digital where will allow people to have access, to democratize access. Will allow also people to prepare better their participation in real live shows. And I think the digital now is very important and is complementary to real in place trade shows.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a really important point what you've just said there, Jalal, that actually you haven't made this event because of a response to the coronavirus. You've made this event because actually for the global food industry, something like this is needed, where people don't have to travel halfway across the world, spending thousands of pounds on plane tickets, because of course they can still hopefully one day do that, but actually having a digital solution alongside those physical trade shows are what's going to really bring the community together. And it's such an easy way to exchange information and get to know other people before the real season starts, so that when people do go to physical trade shows, they've already done the harder bits digitally. So it's actually really easy. Is that something that you guys have thought about in terms of other events and how the Foodehsow can work alongside other food events that are physical, that are face-to-face events?
Well, if I may say something, because I used to travel basically every month to go abroad just to cover either a food show, client visit, whatever it is that needs to be done. And it's expensive as well as overwhelming, because most of the time you don't spend time face to face with clients, you spend time just traveling from place to place, and in that producing a lot of carbon dioxide and a lot of stresses along the way. Yes, it is something that we would like to avoid. However, we believe in that food is essential and people need to touch it, they need to taste it, and they need to feel it. And that's what the other shows like in-person shows would go. I think with the COVID-19, the adaptation of the virtual online tools has been accelerated because people did not believe in the technology. Otherwise, the technology existed for years, but a lot of people did not adopt it. It was a accelerator to adapt these technologies and be able to feel comfortable with them. So yes, we still have to educate as the first one globally. We still have to educate. We still have to preach to different choirs that do probably not comfortable. They need to sell by tasting. They cannot sell the product just online. And we need both. We need both. We need to be online as well as we need to have contact. And I think it's very important that we understand the advantages of both.
Well, we just to let you know, we are in discussion with a lot of in-person trade show organizers that love the idea of the Foodehsow. They want to participate and they see that as an opportunity to introduce their show. Okay, and we are in discussion of some of them. So really, some organizers are looking at this as a win-win situation where we can work all together to bring the community of the food industry together, whether it's online or in person, and we can work with partners that have in-person trade shows, and they can promote their show even in the Foodehsow. It's not an issue. The idea is really to see what is the best option, the best thing for the players in the industry, and that's the main and the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. So effectively, and I think this is really key to highlight for everybody watching, the Foodehsow isn't a replacement for those other face-to-face events that people may have gone to before. It's an addition. It's a value added. It's something that you should do all of them. And it's really good to hear that a lot of those shows are supporting the event, because it is important to remember we need to support the community and the industry. So it's not about one event replacing another. It's about how can we do all of them and make sure that people get maximum success by visiting all the events as a whole, including the Foodehsow. So it complements those other shows that people might have been going to for the last 10 years. So that being said, I'm really interested to know, how did you two decide to do this? When did you say, right, let's do the Foodehsow, let's give it a whirl? Whose idea was it?
Go ahead,
Huda. So we talked about it a long time ago. So I think 2017, we were at a food show in Brazil. Okay. So to go from Casablanca to Sao Paulo, it's not an easy task, and you get the jet lag, and the next morning, and you have a couple of hours of traffic before you hit the venue, and then the show does not start till 2 p.m. and it ends at 10 p.m. By the time we're out back to the hotel, there's no food, and I was talking with Jalal and I said, it's gotta be a better way to do things. It is gotta be a better way to do things, because this is not sustainable, and we should be able to do business differently. So that's something from 2017. Comes the confinement, we're both locked, and Jalal and I are partners in different other aspects that we worked on, and we've seen all our projects on hold. So we were just touching bases and talking about how what's the future of business, how can we make it more interesting, is there any idea? And they're like, oh, how about we organize a show that is virtual? I'm like, yeah, sounds interesting. I think it's really interesting. Okay, let's benchmark. So we started benchmarking, and we couldn't find anything. Basically, we found like 5 events, very local, very small. Okay, and I think that was end of March, early April, and then we started looking at the concept as a whole. Then we started looking for technologies, auditing technologies, costing technologies, and by end of April, we were all done. We had the concept, we had the name, we already sent the logo to my community, which give them a shout. Hello, ladies. I have my Global 41. Hopefully they're watching. And so they had comments about the logo. We moved it, and we had a partner, Jab, who actually did our branding. So it went out from there. So by May, we were already recruiting people.
That's it.
Amazing. So quickly. And I think it just goes to show, doesn't it? When you know that an idea is a good one, you can do it quickly, because sometimes you have to. And it's so strange for me, as somebody who obviously works in a lot of industries in the event world. I can't believe that the Food e-show concept doesn't already exist. That seems crazy to me, because I can see why it's so important for the industry as a whole. And I just think, great. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and at last there is something that the whole community on the global platform can engage with as one. And I think 2020, why not have some positives of this year? If one of them can be the Food e-show, then it's a really great start. We've actually had a really good question in from Isham from Carrefour in Kenya. And I'm going to bring this in because I think this is a really good time for this question to insert itself. And the question is this a one-off show, or do you plan to duplicate this event? So September comes, we have a great show, the food industry is talking and engaging and communicating. What happens next?
Well, no, it's not a one-off show, obviously. So we will be announcing soon the second edition. Okay. It will be in March, and we will be announcing the dates for March. We don't want it to be a one-off edition, because or one-off show, because the idea is really to grow the community, to bring as much to the community. And in between September and March, we will have other stuff coming in between, of course, because we want to grow the community and bring as much as we can to the community. So it's not going to be just a one-off show.
Good. I can't imagine you can't give this to the community and then take it away quickly. They'll be devastated. I think once you start this, in my head, I imagine this to go on for 20 years minimum. But Huda, what's your thought on that?
So yes, I mean, when we created the concept, we had to go on startup mode. So do it fast, fail fast, and learn fast. And that's what we've been doing for the past months. So there's some stuff that worked fine and some other stuff that didn't work fine. But what we needed the proof of concept to be able to duplicate. I mean, it took a lot of time and quite a bit of money to put it together. And also and it's dedication. Basically, we're not doing anything else, but we're doing this. We're trying to make it. And then at a certain point, we had a team of 25 people. That's a lot of people to work on a concept like this. And the idea, like I said, is to have a proof of concept. It's a semestrial meeting. It's March and September. And we want to be able to duplicate it in other sectors if everything goes well and this one takes off and we have things, because we believe that some other sectors do need connections virtually, because some other sectors really need, you can have the best product ever. I'm a consultant and I see a lot of companies all year, and I'm like, there's two things that you cannot outsource: marketing and your vision. Yeah. Everything else you can outsource. So this is us. Like our vision is very clear. Our marketing strategy is very clear, and so hopefully we will come up with some new and interesting ideas.
Can you? Do we have a sneak peek preview as to what one of those industries might be, or are we going to have to wait and see?
You have to wait and see. You have to wait till the end of the year and see.
Maybe we could make it an exclusive at the Food e-show. You're going to reveal the other industries you want to support.
We can do another one. We can do another one at the end of the year, but not today.
Perfect. So there's an interesting point. I know, obviously, it's a 2-day event, and you've mentioned already that you're hoping, or we will be duplicating it in March next year. Is there anything that's going to happen between the two? So is it just going to be on the days itself, or is there other things going on around the events that people in the food industry can get involved with?
Well, first of all, the show is 2 days. So our support during the application is for 2 days. However, The platform, which is the app, mobile and web app, is available for 4 months to everybody, to all the participants, whether it's visitors, exhibitors, or speakers, to be able to nurture those connections and connect with other people that they couldn't connect with in only 2 days, because we obviously expect about 200 exhibitors and a little bit over about 3,000 visitors. And so far, and this is your first information for you, we have crossed 60 countries last weekend, and we are at 62 right now. So we have people from 62 countries, and proud, yes. And
so more than a quarter of the world. That's amazing.
Yeah, and hopefully we can hit 100 before we start in 3 weeks. And so this is, they get connected, they stay connected for 4 months. They get the replay to all the sessions, but we have also the community talks, the Foodehsow expert talks that will still go on every month. So every month we will have a free webinar for our community and other communities if you'd like to join, to talk about a topic of their interest, because we are running studies, and when we listen to what our community wants to hear about, and we will mobilize speakers from the countries that I have mentioned to be able to speak and share with them experiences, insights in how to really be more efficient and navigate through the new way of doing business, because it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be the way it was. Let's say that's a certainty.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So actually, if you're getting involved with the Foodehsow, it's not just about the 2 days. It's about the 4 months after, the education before, and it's really about celebrating the community all the time, which is really nice to hear. And I suppose it's interesting from a perspective of somebody who, I know obviously a little bit about the event already, but there'll be some people watching this who have heard you say speakers and exhibitors and buyers. What are the different opportunities in terms of that brands can get involved with? So you've got exhibitors, you've got your speakers, you've got your attendees, and you've got your very important buyers. So tell me, what's the difference between an exhibitor and an attendee, just so everybody who's watching can understand the difference?
Okay, so an exhibitor is a company that is usually, it's a company, so it's not a person, it's a company that would have to set an e-booth. So an e-booth is a virtual location on the application where they actually can be running. Once you enter that company name, you will see probably their video, you could be downloading their brochure, you see all the team members, and they can have, an exhibitor can have up to 10 members of his team come into the show for the same price. It's not like you add one person, we add more. And for an attendee is a person who is attending the show to network with those exhibitors and those speakers. So the networking goes that way. And as an exhibitor, you can connect with anybody. You can connect with the speakers, you can connect with the attendees as well. VIB is very important buyer. So we got a new word coming in the innovation part. So these are vetted buyers that we know of, or have applied to be a very important buyer and been selected because they have large purchasing power in certain items that interest our exhibitors. It is a special program. The very important buyer program is only concerns 30 exhibitors at the show, and it costs them extra, and we set them up with 5 big buyers to be able to it would be even faster to make business with somebody who knows exactly what he wants, what kind of packaging, what kind of volume, what kind of budget. It's much easier than just, you're going through the show and you're trying product and you're not sure which one is going to work for you. This is like very specific. They know exactly what they want, and we can connect them with people who can really provide them. So instead of them doing all this due diligence, we act as the connectors. We act as the vetters.
Okay.
It's similar to a hosted buyer program in in-person trade show. The only difference is that we're really do the whole matchmaking for between the exhibitors and the buyers, so that we make sure that there's a fit before even a meeting, and then we arrange the meeting for them. I think we arranged like 5 meetings for each exhibitor that participate to the program.
Okay, great. So for anyone who's exhibiting, they have the option to apply for the VIB program.
Yeah.
And can I ask you, you mentioned that there are only 30 spaces. Are there any left? Can people still apply if they're exhibiting?
Yes, I think we have about 6 or 7 more spots for the VIB. Yes.
Okay, great. And just to confirm, these are only for exhibitors, so they have to be exhibiting before they can be in the VIB program. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So if you are a company, a food vendor, food brand, a packaging brand, all in the food industry, and you're wanting to really target those sort of high spending buyers, first of all, you have to be an exhibitor, of course, and then it's really in your interest to be part of the VIB program. And I just want to also highlight to some people watching how interesting, because at a lot of physical trade shows, you get a lot of people who don't buy a booth and they just walk around, but they are actually brands, and they talk to other people in the aisles, and they manage to be an exhibitor without actually paying for a booth, which obviously is not what we want. And I think the really great thing about the Foodehsow is, like Huda said there, attendees cannot talk to one another. The only people that can communicate with everybody is your exhibitors. So you have to be part of the exhibitor program if you want to have that access to those thousands of visitors, and whether that's local visitors, international visitors, anyone that you'll want to target. If you want to target them, you have to be an exhibitor, which is really, really interesting.
Right.
I'm going to now actually bring in on that point an additional question. And just to remind everybody who's watching, if you have a question or any feedback, all you have to do is write it in the comment section just below the video, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. And as soon as we can, we will bring your question in. So we've had a question from Yusra, who has said, in the future, are you planning on making this a face-to-face event or hybrid? And will you add new categories like animal food or fresh products? So I guess there's 2 questions there. The first one, do you ever plan on not being digital and maybe being something else? And 2, are you going to introduce new categories if that's the case? Who's going to take it? Jalal.
Well, frankly, we didn't even think about it. I mean, the options can be there. They were focusing really on the value that we are bringing as an online trade show. Okay, and I think we have a long and very hard work to do to get where we want to get. So I would say for the moment we are thinking about our strategy is really like to focus on what we do for the Foodehsow, get it right for this edition, get it right for the next editions, prepare in between, and put it on orbit. Once we do that, then we'll see how it goes. And as I said, we are talking to partners that already have in-person trade shows. So I mean, for the moment, I get we're focusing on that. In terms of categories, I will leave it with Huda.
Huda's ready.
Yes, I don't think we will be adding like categories like fresh. Let me just explain why, because the question we already discussed with Jalal in the beginning. It is totally different marketing strategies. It is totally different value chain. And we want to be able to provide as maximum information as possible. And that's what we were focused on, transformed products and the services around it. So for the fresh, we will have different kind of buyers. We will have different kind of suppliers. And it is not the same. We cannot have them all under one roof. So yeah, maybe another fresh food show, fresh Foodehsow or something like that. But no, not this category will not be added to the Foodehsow. We will still be processed foods. Maybe we'll add more categories, like, I don't know, if they come up with something new, like, I don't know, some new category, you never know.
Yeah, we'll find out, won't we? Who knows?
Yeah, we'll find out.
That's really interesting, because it's like what you both said there, really, is you can't say either way really for sure, because actually it depends on the market, it depends on your communities, doesn't it? And I guess if it does come after September where people are really saying, actually, this would work better for us, or this would work better, I think you are both in agreement that you are here to support the food industry. And if that's what people in the food industry want and would benefit from, then that's something you can look at, which I think is really good, because a lot of people just say no or yes or definitely, but actually there's no point in going hybrid or live if it's not what the audience wants or needs. So I think it's really good that you are open, but not saying either way. So that's really nice to hear. On that note then, this is quite a controversial question that I hope you don't mind me asking, but why is now a good time for brands and food companies to invest in marketing? Because obviously we know that things are going on in the world, but why should they invest now? Is it a risk, or is it the best thing to do for their business? Who'd like to answer this one?
Well, for me, it's obvious. Now it's the time you invest, because a lot of your competitors are retracting, and this is the real time to invest and to get into the market. So for me, it's no-brainer. You either retract or you go get new market share. And I think the best way is to invest in marketing activities. Other people, we talk with a lot of customers and prospects, and a lot of them, they just, for them, it's not easy now to invest in or to participate in a trade show, and I respect that. But I believe that people that want to get ahead of their competition, the people that want to position themselves in new markets, because now we're talking about global markets, it's virtual. There are no borders, so you can have access to buyers from, I don't know, from Nepal or from Europe or from the Latin America, and I think it's the best way is to invest, and that's why we wanted everyone to access this kind of event. So for me, people should it's the right time to invest. For me, it's no-brainer.
And who did you agree with, Jalal?
Yes, the marketing cannot stop only because you're not making money now, or your business has shifted. You don't stop, because marketing keeps you generating leads. And if you stop generating leads, you won't have any sales in the future. Even when you go to a physical food show, I'm not sure if I've been in the processed food for 10 years, and usually the purchasing cycle is between 6 months and 2 years. Once you do a show, you don't see the deals for another 6 months at least, because by the time you have to know the person, you have to send in the sample, you have to send in the specifications, you have to go through the process, you have to be audited when you are audited, when you need to be audited and you don't have the certifications, and then it's the new harvest, it's new pricing, then it's next year, and then you have to go through it all over again. And then it's very limited the number of times where you really sold during the show. So you keep on investing. It doesn't stop you from going. In some areas, in some markets, you have to develop a relationship. If they don't see you for 3 years in a row, they don't trust you to give you orders. It's very complicated. So marketing should stay, whether you market in food shows, or you market online, or you market via just media, regular media. It shouldn't be stopping, because you always need to generate leads. Your sales funnel always needs to be fed, and if you don't feed it at one time, you're just going to be out, and nobody's going to have it. And also, if you don't do it to generate leads, do it for the notoriety. People need to remember that you're still here. People need to remember that you still exist. You haven't shut down.
Yeah. And I think it's not just for the food industry. It's a global issue with what happened with the COVID. Everyone and every entrepreneur and manager, they found themselves without any market. Okay. So basically, you're confronted with the fact that you don't have any market. So what do you do? I have this amount of cash flow, and you know what? I'm gonna retract. wait and see. Okay, and we now see that this thing might go for a little while. So it's not a solution to wait and see. The solution is really to get there, to find other possibilities. If you have a good product, just go there, market your product, be in front of your customers. It's very important. And we will see that from now to, let's say, September or December, I mean, the ones that will survive are the ones that came up with something new, the ones that have been in the market, the ones that have been discussing with their customers, that put an effort to be there for their customers. So retracting, not doing anything, whether it's marketing or any other area, is not a solution anyway.
Yeah, I think what you guys have said is completely correct for loads of industries. I read recently that the brands and organizations that were the most successful after the 2008 economic crisis were not the more successful before. And the reason why they were successful is because they didn't forget their customers. They kept on investing in marketing. And because, like you said, Jalal, their competitors stopped investing in marketing, it meant that they were the only voices. So they were the only voices their audience could hear. And so actually they got so much more of the market share because they used that difficult time to actually say, right, let's make sure we're making noise so that when we come out of this, we'll be even stronger than we were before. So I think it's a really strong message, and the Food E-Show supports that completely. And I think it's important for people to understand that particular message. So another question that I have, and don't forget, everybody watching, ladies and gents out there, wherever you are, you can ask your questions to Huda and Jalal. They can be about anything, I suppose. I've said that now, I might regret that. But please do post your questions in any of the videos you're watching, and we'll make sure that we ask them before the end of the session today. I wanted to ask both of you, let's pretend that I am a food brand, and I'm thinking of joining the event as an exhibitor, but I'm still not 100% sure. Let's pretend I gave you both 10 seconds to tell me why I should come and join the Food E-Show in September. What would you say? What would you say to this person?
Best positive return on investment.
Say that again, Huda.
Best positive return on investment.
There we go, full stop. Jalal, can you do any better?
Well, we guarantee brand engagement. We guarantee buyers. So, yeah, they should come.
Why would you not come, right? I mean, it's an inexpensive solution that will make your life better. So
there's also, why shouldn't you?
Yeah,
exactly.
That is exactly it.
Why shouldn't you? It's like, what is stopping you? It's you're doing it from the comfort of your home and your office. You can actually download the application on your mobile. When you have meetings, your notifications will show, and you can take face-to-face, or you can chat with your clients. It's not inconvenient. You don't have to travel. You still have to go about your day. You still can manage your schedule and say, I'm not available during these hours, and nobody's going to bother you during those hours. So it is up to you to make the best out of your time during the 2 days and the 4 months. So it's how you want to make it work. It actually, I talk to a lot of companies, and I tell them two things. My two questions are like that. How good is your English? That's my first question. And the second, how committed are you to making it work? Because if you don't put work into it, it's just like any other show. If you don't prepare it well, if you don't have the collaterals, if you don't have the marketing and the specifications and the photos of all your products, you're not going to be able to sell. Your presence, your physical presence, is not going to help you. It's like any show. You have to be able to showcase your product. We actually give you tools. There's a marketplace where people can look up products and services very fast, and that also increases your visibility. So you need to make sure that you are prepared, and for that we did the live demo yesterday, and we also have a guide for all our exhibitors to make the best out of it and to be really prepared, because we're launching on Monday for the exhibitors.
Wow, that's exciting. That's soon. And tell me, if somebody has listened to this conversation today and thinks, actually, this is the right thing for us, we really want to get involved, how do they get involved in the food show? Do they go to the website? Is that the easiest way?
Yes. So
okay,
the easiest way
here.
Yes. So the easiest way is to go to the website. On the website, you can choose your options, whether you'd like to attend. If you'd like to attend, you click on attending, you fill out the forms. It's $10. You pay your $10 and you got your ticket. And if you are like to exhibit, it's the same way. I mean, you go and you go through the process. There's plenty of videos that explain to you what you get in and how you should go about it. And fill out the form. Choose the options that you'd like, exhibitor, just exhibitor with VIP, or branded content, and you just pay and it shows. That's it, and automatically you're in. You will receive on Monday the link to access your account to start configuring your booth.
That's it.
Easy to do. And go ahead, Huda.
So just for fun, we're running a story today on Instagram. It says it takes 2 minutes to brush your teeth every day. It takes less to register for the Foodie show.
You could even do it at the same time, right?
Exactly.
That's what I would do.
If you have your information already filled on your account, yes, for sure, it's going to be less than 2 minutes.
Easy, that's done. So tell us, what are some of the names of people who are already coming to the Foodie show? Because I know there's some really great names that I think might be of interest to some people that are watching this with us today.
Go ahead, Jalal. Want to start with the VIPs?
Yeah, we can start with the VIPs. We have VIPs from the US. We have Sophia Foods from US. We have also Carrefour, Kenya. I think Hisham just asked the question.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, we have Carrefour, Kenya. We have Carrefour here in Morocco, and Marjan from Morocco too. And we are at now more than I think 14 VIPs, and we're getting more important buyers coming in for the exhibitor. But yeah, Huda, if you give some names.
Well, that's some of the speakers. I bet people are interested in that as well when you have moments.
Yes. I'll go for the speakers, because the speakers, we've got over 30 of them, and let's pick one per country. I have my girl Nilam Sari, and she is amazing. She's in Indonesia, and she is a CEO of Kebab Baba Rafi, and they have 1,400 points of sales in 10 countries, and she is coming to speak about how to grow your business through franchising. Who else we got Hugh Simmons. He's coming from Ukraine to speak about Industry 4.0 and how to save you money and time. We have there's so many. We have the WPO and the WDO, which is the World Design Organization and the World Packaging Organization, that have been they came through my friend Hisham Al-Hulou, who is like a big designer in Morocco, who actually put in his contacts to talk about how design can grow your business internationally. And we have design in packaging, and also design on labeling as well.
Okay, great.
Who do we have? We have Angel.
I would be very impressed, Huda, if you can name all 30. That would be quite.
I could. I booked most of them. I booked most of them, so I can remember all of them. And we have Leila Radi from the US. We have Rachel from Peru. We have Darsana from UAE. We've got Melissa from South Africa. Semi Hakim from Turkey. Vivian Long from Finland. Annalene from Netherlands. I can go on and on and on.
Yeah, we need another hour for that, so you can go through all of them. So, I mean, you've already shown us such a huge wealth of knowledge and countries and different parts of the food industry. And you mentioned there as well, it's not just about the food sector, it's about business in general. So how can you grow your business? Because I know that's going to be a huge topic of discussion for so many people at the moment. So it's great that there's that support there as well. So it's not just about individual food things, it's about general business things. So that's really interesting. And we've only got 10 minutes, so I do want to just say to everybody watching, if you do want to send in a question or feedback for our lovely co-founders of the Food eShow, please do just write them below in that little comment box, and we'll get the questions to them. But otherwise, Jalal and Huda, if people have a question but don't want to ask it on the live feed, what is the best way to get in touch with you two personally? Is it via LinkedIn? Is it via your Food eShow website?
Send an email.
Send an email of info@the Food eShow. We'll respond. We're both on it. We'll respond. On LinkedIn, of course, we're always there. So the best thing.
Yes, and I do say, please just LinkedIn. Don't add me on Facebook.
Yeah,
I don't accept requests on Facebook. I just want to be clear on that one.
No, I totally agree with you. I think Facebook is just friends and family, right? So
exactly.
If you have a question for Huda or Jalal, please don't do it over Facebook. Do it, or you can do it on the Food eShow Facebook page, of course.
Exactly.
But otherwise, keep it to LinkedIn, so Huda doesn't go on Saturday morning on her Facebook and start answering work questions. So how long is it? I believe I'm right in saying we have 24 days until the show.
Yep.
Is that right?
Let's not count them.
And the exhibitor portal is launching on Monday, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the exhibitors can actually start setting up.
Okay, great. And what kind of things does an exhibitor have to set up for the show?
They have to set up their information. So basically, they have to put in, if they have a video that they would like to be running, they have to put as well the brochures, the spec sheets, the certifications if they have them. They have to catalog all their products and make sure that the photos are good. They have all the information on the product, if they have any pricing, if they have any special offers that they would like to do. They can start looking also at other exhibitors and bookmarking them. This way they can get introduced once they have them. Once it's everything is open. I just want to say that you don't have to do the report there, exhibitors. Everything comes out automatically. So you'll have a lot of stats and how many people visited your booth, how many people downloaded your material, and how many connections you've got, and how many of them are video, how many of them are chats. And anytime any exhibitor takes a video chat or call, he is actually rating it. From 1 to 5 stars, and he can put tags. This way, at the end of the show, when he can download his report, he knows exactly what to do.
That's amazing, and I suppose that's something that you don't normally get at your face-to-face events.
Oh no!
Those stats being so detailed, you can only get them in the digital world, right? So
exactly,
that's another thing.
Exactly.
Great. Okay.
And the technology is what we have now is a technology that based on artificial intelligence. So it kind of brings up some profiles. Once you feed them information, which is your bio, your skills, and what are you looking for, basically it matches you up. They're like, okay, here's the people that you should connect with, and it gives you like the matching automatically. So it helps you actually connect with the right people.
That's amazing. So it makes it super easy as well for them to to go. Okay, I'm just wondering if we have any other questions from anybody watching at the moment. I know we've got people all over the world. It's probably very early in some countries and probably very late in others, but we've got 5 more minutes. So if anybody does have a question for our co-founders of the Food eShow, please do pop that along. But I did want to actually bring something else up. So I know aside from the Food eShow event itself, you also work on content, don't you, that supports the industry in general, blogs, things like that. Do you want to tell us a tiny bit about what that is and where people can find that up-to-date, relevant content that you guys are putting out to the world?
Well, yeah, we have content that we put in. Well, you're gonna have content in our YouTube channel. You're gonna have content that we put on LinkedIn, Facebook, of course. We have the Foodehsow blog, and the Foodehsow blog is basically the foodtradehub.com. So the Food Trade Hub is really the place where you will have a lot of information about different aspects of the industry, and it's the blog actually for the Foodehsow. So this is where you can go there. When you go to the website of the Foodehsow and you go to topics and you click on there, and you get back automatically to the blog, and you can have all the content that have been delivered.
Okay, great. So there's plenty of ways to get involved then, and people can be educated in many ways. But I think the main point that we've really talked about today, and I'd love for you guys to also add to this after, is just that the Foodehsow is very much a community. It's creative, it's innovative, it's supporting the entire food sector, no matter what language you speak, no matter where in the world you are, no matter which element of the food industry, apart from fresh food. And I think it's really interesting that we are making such a positive step in the right direction, which, you know what, even without the global pandemic, the food industry needed this. So actually it could be a really positive time for everybody in the industry. And personally, I hope that people have listened to you both today and think, you know what, that is definitely something to be a part of, because it is exciting and it is new. And I have every single confidence that every single edition will grow and grow and grow. And the people that were there at the start will be able to say, we were there in September 2020 and we made a success of what is going to be a really brilliant event. So just for everybody else who's watching, it would be really good for you to both give a little bit of a summary just about the event and how you feel about it and why you're so excited about doing it. Huda, would you like to go first?
Yeah, before I go that, I would like to thank some people that were very supportive, because you know it's a new concept and a lot of people are afraid new things. And first, I'm gonna go with the Ministry of Industry in Morocco, a special department of external commerce, who actually were the first to send an email to all the primo exporters, telling them that they officially subsidize 80%. The fee to get into our show. So yes, they were the first ones, and we didn't actually ask for it. They actually came and did it, and it was amazing. Thank you, Mr. Mutadin. We're actually very impressed with your support. And we also the second institution, and we're talking about institutions here, the second institution is the CIER, Centre Régional d'Investissement, Susmessa, which is like a region in Morocco. We have 12 regions, and they actually bring in, they are subsidizing 100%, 12 companies within the region to come and exhibit and VIB. They took both the exhibition and the VIB programs for all the products that are produced within their regional limits. So these are institutions that actually see the value of the virtual and the digital and being online, and were the first one to support us. That other than these, all the exhibitors that have supported us and they believed on the concept, we are really thankful, because it's very important to have those, because that's what keeps us going, is the exhibitors, and all these exhibitors who actually confirmed and are supporting us, are trusting us with their brand and their identity, and hopefully we can show how much value we can bring in the table, and how much quality it can be added to their show experience.
No, that's great. Thank you, and thank you, as you just said, to everybody who has supported in those various ways.
And I think it's important also to thank our partners. They believed in us. It's not easy. I mean, when someone comes up with a new idea, it's not easy to just embark and say, okay, we support you. There is no reference or anything. You didn't do anything in terms of trade shows. So it's very important that we thank them for that. And also the team. The Foodehsow team is unbelievable. A lot of hard work. It's not easy every day, of course. It's a journey, and you have your ups and downs. But the team is unbelievable, and they're very committed, and I want to thank them for that. And I hope that we'll have people embarking with us in the show, whether as exhibitors or attendees, and I mean, we're waiting for them. I mean,
yeah,
we're excited.
That's it.
Well,
to have them September 8 and 9 with us.
So before I end, I want to shout out to everybody because I see some comments from my friends, and thank you guys for your support. And I just want to say that everybody can help us build the community by sharing, spreading the word. It's very important. We're new. We've been discriminated against. Well, Moroccans, don't forget, Morocco doesn't sell. However, we are proud Moroccans, and we are very proud to be that the idea and the concept has originated from Morocco, and we need everybody's support because ideas don't have borders, like business doesn't have borders now. We are in a totally different setting. The setting is like act local, but think global and act local. So this is the way to go. And I like to say that the only constant in life is change. And with that, we keep it positive and we keep it moving and we keep adapting to the next. So for everybody who's watching, don't forget to spread the word. We need you to get our message across. We need to have our proof of concept. We are a startup. You know, at my age, I'm doing the startup mode, and only I used to mentor the startups. So it is very interesting, and it's a roller coaster, but it's a very nice journey.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's a really, really brilliant note to end on. So as you do with any community, you need to support each other. Like Kudos just said, please do spread the word. Tell your friends, tell your colleagues, tell your family, tell your business partners, because this is going to be one of the events of the future, and now's the time for us to make history. And so I think I'm really excited to see what happens, and I really appreciate you both coming on and having a chat with me today. And like we've said, any other questions for Jalal or Huda, please do visit LinkedIn or email at info@thefoodeshow.com, and they will obviously get back to you as soon as they can. But I can't wait to see everybody there. Thank you so much for everybody's time. Have a lovely afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you are in the world. And from all three of us, we will see you all very soon. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.